Yeah, I find that we apologize for asking for what we want, but women are, seem perceived as being demanding or difficult.
Was there a coordinated smear campaign to bring down Blake Lively?
100% no.
For me, a key part of my faith is figuring out what your individual...
Blake Lively's reputation is facing a serious challenge as shocking new details emerge regarding her alleged behavior. Former assistants, co-stars, and Hollywood insiders are stepping forward, revealing experiences that paint a darker side of the actress, sharply contrasting with her glamorous public image. From accusations of mistreating interns to rumored tensions with peers, cracks in Blake's seemingly flawless persona are beginning to appear. Adding fuel to the fire is her ongoing legal battle with actor Justin Baldoni, whom she accuses of harassment and defamation. Rather than garnering sympathy, the lawsuit has had the opposite effect, prompting fans and media to scrutinize Blake's past. As more individuals share their stories, a troubling portrait emerges of a star who may not be the charming Hollywood darling she presents. The question remains, is this a smear campaign that has gone too far, or is there merit to the claims? The controversies surrounding Blake Lively are forcing both fans and critics to consider whether she is a victim of Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight or the architect of her own downfall. The first cracks in Blake's carefully curated image appeared when a former assistant came forward with shocking allegations, setting off a wave of scrutiny and speculation that continues to challenge her status as one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces.
Extremely weirded out. I actually cried on the train home. I used to take the train back to Long Island. I was mortified. Again, not only did I not treat her unprofessionally, but nobody to my experience that I saw spoke to her. I'm like, her? I didn't speak to anyone, let alone her, didn't know who she was. And so I was very confused. And they specifically kept saying, I'm freaking out. Am I going to lose my job at this point? Because you know how interns, the gravity of it hits me as I walk out and I just start crying because I'm like, oh my God.
Blake Lively's former assistant, who worked with her during the early stages of her career, shared an emotional account detailing humiliation and mistreatment on the set of The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. At the time, Blake was far from the Hollywood superstar she would later become, yet her behavior reportedly reflected a sense of entitlement that left her colleagues shocked. According to the assistant, Blake accused her of acting like a man and scolded her for simply performing her job. The accusations appeared baseless, leaving the assistant feeling blindsided and humiliated. I was mortified, she recalled, adding that the ordeal drove her to tears. The situation escalated to the point where she feared losing her job over what seemed to be Blake's inflated ego. This account paints a troubling picture of a young actress allegedly using her position to demean those she considered beneath her. While there is no coordinated smear campaign against Blake Lively, this story, initially dismissed as an isolated incident, opened the floodgates for others to share experiences of her alleged bullying and mistreatment. Reports from those who worked with Blake in her early career describe a pattern of arrogance and disregard for colleagues. A particularly striking incident during the filming of The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants reportedly caused tension among the cast and crew. Blake allegedly behaved as if she were already a Hollywood star, despite being relatively unknown, dominating conversations and seeking the spotlight, often overshadowing others. During a press event for the film, she reportedly turned discussions toward herself, speaking more about future projects than celebrating the ensemble cast, which reportedly frustrated co-stars, particularly America Ferrera, whose visible discomfort was noted during interviews. Blake's behavior reportedly extended to interactions with interviewers, often condescending and leaving journalists feeling belittled or embarrassed. One reporter recounted a cringe-worthy encounter in which Blake dismissed a compliment and made a sarcastic remark about her own appearance. Over time, these accounts accumulated, presenting a portrait of an ambitious actress whose self-importance allegedly alienated those around her. Though Blake's polished public persona and glamorous image largely shielded her from scrutiny, these stories suggest a stark contrast between her on-screen charm and real-life behavior. Her interactions with the media have often been criticized as dismissive and confrontational. A notorious example occurred during the promotional tour for Café Society, when a reporter congratulated Blake on her pregnancy. Instead of expressing gratitude, she redirected the comment with a sarcastic remark, pointing out the reporter's physical appearance, further highlighting the tension between her public image and off-camera demeanor. Blake Lively's public image has increasingly come under scrutiny as numerous accounts from former assistants, co-stars, journalists, and industry insiders paint a troubling picture of her off-screen behavior. During an early interview promoting Café Society, Blake's response to a reporter congratulating her on her pregnancy took an awkward and unprofessional turn, redirecting the comment with a sarcastic remark about the reporter's physical appearance, leaving observers questioning her professionalism and empathy. Later in the same interview, when asked about her experiences working with Woody Allen, a highly controversial figure in Hollywood due to long-standing allegations, she sidestepped the question entirely, offering vague and unconvincing praise for his directing style. This response drew criticism, with many highlighting the hypocrisy of Blake publicly supporting the #MeToo movement while continuing to defend Allen. These instances, coupled with her dismissive attitude toward interviewers, have created a perception of Blake as someone who prioritizes controlling narratives and protecting her image over authentic interactions, fostering a sense of alienation among media professionals and audiences alike. Allegations of personal indiscretions have also followed her throughout her career, particularly concerning her relationship with Ryan Reynolds. Rumors suggest Blake and Ryan began their romance while Reynolds was still married to Scarlett Johansson. While neither party has confirmed these claims, the whispers have contributed to a perception of Blake as someone willing to cross personal and professional boundaries, prompting backlash from fans and critics who label her a homewrecker despite her efforts to cultivate a public image as a devoted wife and mother. This contradiction between her personal rumors and curated public persona has fueled skepticism regarding her authenticity. Further complicating her image are Blake's interactions with co-stars. Reports describe frosty or tense relationships with colleagues during productions. For example, during the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, her early career assistant recounted feeling humiliated and scolded for performing her job, with Blake allegedly asserting authority and dominance that left her assistant in tears. Co-stars such as America Ferrera reportedly experienced discomfort during promotional events when Blake allegedly shifted focus to herself, overshadowing the ensemble cast and creating tension on set. Similar issues emerged during Gossip Girl, where on-screen chemistry between Blake and co-star Leighton Meester as Serena and Blair masked real-life tension. Insiders claimed the two avoided each other off-camera, with cast members feeling compelled to take sides. Actor Armie Hammer, who played her love interest, alluded to difficulties working with Blake, avoiding direct commentary but signaling underlying strain. Other co-stars, including Anna Kendrick, hinted at challenges collaborating with Blake, suggesting a pattern of off-screen behavior inconsistent with her polished public image. These accounts cumulatively suggest a recurring theme. Blake Lively's ambition, self-importance, and desire to dominate conversations and situations reportedly contributed to strained professional relationships and instances where colleagues felt belittled or sidelined. Journalists and media professionals have also recounted moments of perceived condescension. Some describe her dismissive or sarcastic interactions during interviews, often undermining a warm and approachable persona projected to the public. Critics highlight a notable incident during Café Society's promotional tour in which her response to a lighthearted pregnancy comment was a snarky retort, reinforcing concerns about her off-camera demeanor. Her continued praise of Woody Allen, despite public condemnation during the #MeToo movement, drew sharp criticism from figures including Dylan Farrow, Allen's adopted daughter, who called out Blake for the perceived contradiction in condemning Harvey Weinstein while defending Allen's work. These patterns, critics argue, reflect a disconnect between her on-screen charm and off-camera behavior. Allegations and rumors regarding her personal life further complicate the narrative. The rumored affair with Ryan Reynolds, juxtaposed against her efforts to project a perfect marital image, challenges the authenticity of her public persona, while industry whispers have painted her as willing to leverage personal relationships for professional advantage. Her advocacy for women's rights and empowerment movements, though publicly lauded, has been scrutinized in light of her continued praise for controversial figures and reports of domineering behavior toward assistants and colleagues. Many have interpreted these contradictions as indicative of hypocrisy or a carefully managed image crafted to maintain influence and public favor. Blake Lively's reputation in Hollywood is now being examined with greater intensity as more insiders, former assistants, co-stars, and journalists share accounts that collectively challenge the perception of her as a warm, relatable, and approachable figure. Reports describe a young actress in her early career, particularly during the sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, who allegedly used her position to assert authority in ways that humiliated and demoralized colleagues. The pattern of behavior reportedly extended beyond assistants to co-stars, interviewers, and industry professionals, reflecting a broader tendency to prioritize self-interest, dominance, and image management. While her public image remains polished and glamorous, these accounts suggest a stark contrast between the on-screen persona and the reported off-screen interactions. Allegations of dismissive or condescending behavior toward journalists, tense relationships with co-stars, and the management of controversial personal relationships collectively paint a portrait of an actress whose real-life conduct has occasionally alienated colleagues and observers. This growing body of anecdotal evidence has prompted fans and critics to scrutinize the authenticity of her carefully curated image. Blake Lively's public persona, once characterized by charm, approachability, and relatability, is increasingly under question as these narratives accumulate, highlighting the complexity of reconciling a star's polished image with the reported realities of her professional and personal conduct. Whether viewed as isolated incidents or reflective of broader patterns, these accounts underscore the tensions between celebrity image, media portrayal, and personal behavior, raising important questions about authenticity, accountability, and the pressures of navigating Hollywood's spotlight. Accounts and reports suggest that Blake Lively's on-set behavior has created tension with colleagues, with some alleging she has used her influence to undermine or even marginalize co-stars. One notable example involves Anna Kendrick, who has subtly hinted at past friction with Blake during interviews, with Kendrick's body language and remarks fueling speculation about a frosty relationship. Similarly, on the set of Gossip Girl, rumors of animosity between Blake and Leighton Meester have persisted for years, with insiders describing a divided atmosphere where cast members felt pressured to take sides. Blake's interactions with the media have also drawn criticism. Her treatment of journalist Kathy Flaw during a Café Society press event reportedly left a sour impression, with Flaw publicly stating that the encounter made her consider quitting her job. These incidents contribute to a growing perception that Blake's charm may not extend beyond her on-screen roles, and Hollywood's elite, often quick to close ranks, appear to be distancing themselves as more allegations emerge. In an era where authenticity and accountability are increasingly valued, the industry's tolerance for difficult behavior seems to be waning, making rebuilding trust and goodwill within her professional circles a challenging uphill battle. Blake Lively has long been admired for her poised public image, often hailed as a style icon and a devoted wife and mother. Her seemingly picture-perfect life with Ryan Reynolds, bolstered by their playful public banter and mutual support, has been the envy of many. However, allegations from former assistants, co-stars, and journalists are beginning to crack that polished facade, as critics argue that her carefully curated image does not align with reports of alleged bullying and controlling behavior. From on-set tensions with Leighton Meester to dismissive remarks toward Kathy Flaw, the disparity between her public persona and these claims has sparked widespread debate. Further complicating her reputation are persistent rumors about her relationship with Ryan Reynolds while he was allegedly still married to Scarlett Johansson, fueling additional scrutiny and challenging her standing as a role model. Blake's silence in the face of these allegations has only amplified public attention, leaving fans and industry insiders questioning whether her public persona is a well-maintained illusion or whether the accusations are exaggerated by those with personal grievances. In today's digital age, where perception can shift rapidly, Blake's next moves could prove crucial. Addressing the accusations directly or demonstrating a commitment to personal growth might help rebuild her image, while continued silence risks alienating fans and industry allies alike. As the controversy surrounding Blake Lively continues to unfold, one thing is clear: her public image is at a crossroads. Allegations of bullying, rumored affairs, and professional conflicts have ignited broader conversations about the gap between celebrity personas and behind-the-scenes realities. The central question remains whether Blake will confront these accusations head-on or continue to allow speculation to grow unchecked. Transparency and sincere efforts to acknowledge past actions could provide a path forward, offering her an opportunity to demonstrate accountability and personal growth. Conversely, ignoring mounting criticism might further damage her reputation and create lasting skepticism about her authenticity. For fans and industry observers, this saga underscores the complexities of Hollywood fame. Behind glamorous red carpet appearances and curated social media posts lies a world of power dynamics, egos, and human flaws. The coming months will be pivotal for Blake Lively's career and public standing, whether she can reclaim her narrative and repair the damage, or whether these revelations will define her legacy. Hollywood loves a comeback story, but only when it is paired with genuine change. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Can Blake Lively recover from this, or is her reputation beyond repair?